I got really, really good. I would say the best in the world at sales for online coaching specifically. And I am the best in the world at showing that business owner or that sales team how to sell that specific online coaching program. People tell me all the time, like, oh, I'm trying to wean off. And I'm like, look, Tony Robbins says it best. Change happens in an instant, the instant you decide to change. And if you say, I'm going to wean off, you're very much not making the hard red line decision of I'm done, and you're always going to go back. You have to make the decision. You have to flip the switch. Like, I'm done and I'm not going back. And nowadays, so many people are wired to find the bad in everything, to complain about things, to bitch, to get, oh, well, he's only successful because of this, that, and the other. People are always finding reasons to be upset and to be miserable, and then they wonder why they're stressed, depressed, overweight, and poor. If you actually take the time to consume and not just look at face value, then you will understand my heart and my intentions and who I actually am. If somebody can't take the time to do that, I don't really give a I want to leave everyone and everything better than I found it, because I don't know when my last day is. But I tell it to my clients all the time, like, I'm just grateful that you guys invested your money to sit here for me. And it's not fair for you if I don't show up as the highest version of myself, regardless of my personal life, regardless of what I did this last weekend, regardless of what's happening in other areas of the business. You guys paid to have the highest version of me. That's what I will deliver. And I will do that all day long because you guys deserve it, because you paid for me to be my best.
Welcome to the Carve Your Path podcast. I'm Zan Carver, and today we sit down with Austin Medlin, an absolute sales guru who does millions of dollars of revenue a month, and he teaches us everything that he knows about how to become the best version of yourself, the best at sales, and surrounding yourself with a winner circle full of highly powered, ultra high net worth entrepreneurs who just kill sales, build revenue, and build businesses. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's a crazy story. I'll see you inside. Dude, isn't this crazy that we're in here too? Because like this is actually like a sick setup.
Then we almost robbed U.S. Health Advisors.
Punching the code right into their door. Hey, can you guys let us in? We have a podcast scheduled.
Use Vic. Can I help you?
You know these guys. So, Austin Medlin. When I met you, I was trying to like understand who you were. And obviously Jack gave me a little bit of context when we met. But you kind of brought this personality when I was sitting across from you, where I was like, this guy is so confident. I'm trying to understand like how he's gained all this confidence. I feel like there's a crazy story behind all of it. But when I met you, you were so down to earth and genuine that I was like, okay, like not only is he confident, but he drives a supercar and can live the life that he wants. And you also like, you took care of us at dinner, which was super nice of you. Didn't expect that. But you were super authentic and genuine the entire time. What brought you to Tampa? Why are you in Tampa?
Born and raised.
Really?
Actually, yeah. Which is very rare. No one ever says they're born and raised in Tampa.
You might be the only person since I've been in Tampa that wasn't an Uber driver that said that they were from Tampa.
Which I'm confused. Like, where is everybody going?
You're right.
Dude, Tampa is sick. You got to experience it this weekend.
Yeah.
Everyone who comes down here loves it. Apparently there's a snowstorm all in the north, and I'm playing golf today in 80-degree weather. So yeah, I'm actually born and raised in Tampa. My dad was the first graduating class of Land O'Lakes High School. So like he's born and raised in Tampa as well. My entire family is here except for one aunt who lives in North Carolina. And the family's here. Taxes are low, not much crime. Weather's good. It's like it has everything and everyone that I need. And I just have no plans of going anywhere else.
There's no reason to leave.
No.
So did you go to college here?
I went in Orlando. Okay. So 2 hours away. It was like close enough where I could come home and visit, but not close enough where my mom would come and check in on me every weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did Orlando. It took 5 years to graduate. I got kicked out for a year for hazing. So we got kicked off campus. I took the fall. I actually took the fall on purpose because I was involved in the hazing incident, but I wanted to get kicked out of school so then I could drop out.
Really?
Because I didn't want to go to college. And I called my mom every weekend. I'm like, I'm going to drop out. I'm going to drop out. And then I was like, well, what if I just get kicked out? And then she'll be like, okay, fine, you can just drop out. But I just took a gap year, played golf, hung out, built a business, and then I came back and finished up.
What brought you to want to finish school then? If you're already building a business.
Yeah. She was like, she had a very good conversation with me. She's like, I am paying for you to go to school, to party, and do whatever you want, and just get mediocre grades. Like, for the love of God, please just get the degree or diploma, whatever it's called. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I got it. And then I shipped it to her house. I didn't even walk at graduation. I just shipped it to her house. I was like, here you go.
While you're already building a business, you were like, yeah, let me just take care of mom and say I'm going to finish college just for her.
I mean, dude, she was paying for it. And like, I recognize it extraordinarily blessed to have a mom and a dad who are like, we're going to pay for you to go to college. So many people have to go into debt to get a degree,
right?
Which I just don't think is a good idea unless you want to be a doctor or an attorney or something you actually need the degree for. But if you're just doing general business, sales, like marketing. Like, what do you need? What are you getting a degree for? I guess I'm confused.
When you went to college, was that like the thought, I want to be in sales and business, and immediately you already knew what you wanted to do?
I knew I'd be an entrepreneur my entire life. I have been an entrepreneur my entire life. So I went to college because that was the thing that everyone says to do. But then very quickly, I got into network marketing when I was 18, and I saw the path. I started hanging out with people who are making $50, $100, $500,000 a month, some of them $1 million a month, and they're like 25 to 30 years old. And I was like, dude, if these guys can do this, I can do it too. What the hell am I in school for? Like, what am I going to do? This is just slowing down my progress and genuinely feels like a waste of time. And I knew right away, I was like, I don't need this. I don't want this. And like, I just want to go full-time business. But I managed both and then got out of school, never used the degree, and then just kept rolling on the business journey.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I always tell kids, like, if you don't know what you want to do, still go to college, because you're going to figure it out while you're there, likely, or you're going to meet a ton of people that were super valuable for the rest of your career, whatever your career ends up being, right? You obviously proved that like you didn't need the college degree to do what you wanted to do, but it gave you time to kind of figure it out.
Yep.
Do you think you would have been able to figure it out the same way if you didn't go to college at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like when I got into network marketing, it wasn't through college. It was through like a mutual friend of a friend, and like we had gone to like middle school and high school together. So it's not like I met that connection, which really snowballed my entrepreneurship journey like in a really big way. I didn't meet that person in college. So it's like I can't credit college with like speeding up or slowing down the entrepreneurship journey. It was just kind of like there. And I was in a fraternity, we partied, we had fun, like, and people are like, oh, you meet like some of your best friends that are like, dude, full transparency, like I'm really not even, like I'm friends, but definitely not best friends. Definitely not like I'm not hanging out with these people every weekend and like going, I'm not getting invited to their weddings for the most part. Like it's very much like that was a chapter. And now that chapter's closed, and I'm like on to, I wouldn't say bigger and better, I'm just on to different things.
Yes. You're spending your time with people who are more aligned with what your path in life was, regardless of who you spent your time with for 4 years in college.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to be together. Now, what is network marketing? Can you define network marketing for me? What is that?
Giant pyramid scheme, dude. It's like, no, it's like Amway, Herbalife, Avon, Mary Kay. Like it's been around forever.
Okay.
It's very much just like direct sales, and these companies pay $0 in marketing, and then instead of spending money on billboards and paid ads and spokespeople, they just take that marketing budget and redirect it into the pockets of the people that are sharing their products with people that they care about because they just genuinely enjoy the product, right? So like, give an example, you have the Ultra pouches here, right? So you turn me on to those. I'm like, oh my God, these are amazing. Well, every single time I buy a can of Ultra pouches, you should get paid a small percentage of that because I never would have consumed them without you.
Right.
So now forever is the lifetime of me consuming this product. You're going to get a very small kickback every single time I spend money on it because you introduced me to it. Then if I go introduce that Ultra pouch to someone else and they start buying it, you get another very small percentage because if you didn't tell me and I didn't tell them, maybe they're never a consumer. So
Right.
that is all network marketing is. Like you're getting paid to tell people about products that you already enjoy. And at the time, it was healthy energy drinks and healthy protein shakes endorsed by Dr. Oz. They're like the official energy drink of the Phoenix Suns. And so I enjoyed energy drinks and I enjoyed it. So I drank it and then I got paid to tell other people about it.
Wow. Okay. So you were part of this Ponzi scheme.
Yes. Dude, they were the first company to ever beat the FTC in court. So they got sued for being an illegal pyramid scheme. And they were the first company in the history of the United States to beat the FTC in court saying we are a legit company. And the FTC backed off like, yeah, they're good.
Wow.
But the damage that it did to the reputation. And it came at a bad time for me because I was dating a girl in college. She got hit by a car and she was in the hospital for 10 days. And in those 10 days, all these lawsuits started coming out about the network marketing company. And I lost my business and my girlfriend in the exact same 10 days.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Like I lost my income and I lost a girl that I really loved. And I was like, okay, I guess I rebuild. Like what do I do? Where do I go from here?
Yeah. Wow. So you lost your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Can you tell me that story? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, so it's actually really sad because they had a lot of tragedy at their high school. She's from Orlando, and they had a lot of a tragedy there. For some reason, there's just a lot of kids that were just like, one guy fell off a balcony and was like in a coma and then came out like not the same. They had two of her friends, Laura and Eddie, died in a car crash. And it was actually the 1 year anniversary of Laura and Eddie dying. And they went to their like 1 year memorial anniversary thing. And then her and her friends were obviously sad. They were a little distraught and they ended up going out to blow off some steam and just like spend time and like love on each other. And she was drinking. Her friend messaged me. It was like 1 or 1:30 in the morning. And I get in bed because I was building the network marketing company, get in bed, check my phone, and her friend was like, hey, Brooke is drunk. Can you come pick her up from the bar? And I was like, yeah, for sure. I'm on my way. So woke up my roommate. We went, and as soon as I rounded the corner, there was red and blue flashing lights. And I told him, I was like, dude, that kind of worries me because, she had said Brooke was drunk. And I could see where the bar was and where the lights were. And when I pulled up, there was one cop there, and there was like kind of people running around everywhere. And she was just there lying in the middle of the road. And the guy that hit her, he hadn't been drinking, so it wasn't his fault. And that's like why I won't drink and drive. Besides the fact I got a DUI when I was 20. That helps. But also, like, I think to that guy, right? If he had had 1 or 2 drinks and then she had walked out in front of him and it was her fault, like, he might be in prison for vehicular manslaughter for the rest of his life,
right?
Even though he was probably sober, right? But so it wasn't his fault. It was hers. I've talked about this story before, and everyone's like shitting on her friends in the comments of like, why did they leave her? It's like, that's not what happened. Her friends didn't leave her. It was very much just like an accident that happened. And I got there before the ambulance did. There was a watch that I had bought her. She was wearing, found it in the road, like really far away from her body. And I still have that watch in a little acrylic case in my office. And it has her birthday, death date, like a little pair of wings, her first name, last name. And that's sitting in my office. And I look at it right in front of my desk every day. It reminds me of her. It reminds me that life is short and we're not invincible. And you got to live every single day to the fullest. And to tie back to what you'd originally said, why do you have this confidence and kind of this energy about you, and like, how do I go about my life? And I think back to Brooke all the time. I'm like, I want to leave everyone and everything better than I found it, because I don't know when my last day is. People ask, well, what do you want to do in 2026? My answer is not die. Like, I don't know. Like, I just want to be the best human I can be today. Mm-hmm. Like, today is Sunday night. Like, it's like 8 p.m. on a Sunday. I just want to be the best human I can be in this moment right now for this podcast. And then when I go home, be the best human I can be at my home. And if I just keep doing that, in compounding in the right direction, I think where I end up will be far beyond what I ever thought was even possible anyways.
That's incredible. So that happened while you were in college.
Yeah, I was that 19? Yeah, I think I was 19 when that happened.
That must have like totally changed your entire perspective on life at a young age, which I would argue, just from what I am hearing, that's probably a big reason why you became so successful so young, right? Like, I'd imagine that having an experience like that's traumatic, but also a really good window into perspective of how to live life. And yeah. I always think back to one of my football coaches from college. He always says, be where your feet are. And I really like that, because it really made me feel like,
it means be present.
Exactly.
To be here.
Exactly. Yeah. Your 10 toes are down. Be exactly where that is. Don't think too far ahead. And, I think it really encapsulates the thought of whatever we're doing right now is the only thing that's important. And, you're obviously doing a lot of important stuff, and you're kind of like, it's funny. You're doing a lot of cool stuff in business, but you're also playing like the bad boy role. Like,
sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like
that's how people perceive me. But it's like, I am you look at my Instagram and at first glance, like, what a douchebag, what a piece of shit. He doesn't care. Da, da, da. And I did this. I had a friend and I gave her my Instagram, and like, she knows who I am, but I was like, hey, pretend you don't know who I am. I said, scroll my Instagram. What's your first impression? What do you think of me? And she's like, oh, shirtless, douchebag, this, that, no, money, whatever. Like, she hands it back. She's like, you're a conceited piece of shit. And I was like, okay, great. Now do the same exercise, but actually take the time to consume the content. She's like, okay. She pulls up that same shirtless photo, and then she takes the time to swipe over, and then she sees when I was 35 pounds overweight. Then she takes the 2 minutes to read the caption and talk about how I struggled with anxiety and I was overweight and I was anxious as all hell for 14 months of my life, and like, didn't want to die, but at the same time was thinking about ending my life every day for 14 months because I was so claustrophobic in my own head and I was so fucking miserable. And then I talk about that journey in the caption, and she's like, wow, that's really deep. Like, that's genuine. And then she goes to the next, and it's the same thing, right? So if you actually take the time to consume and not just look at face value, then you will understand my heart and my intentions and who I actually am. If somebody can't take the time to do that, I don't really give a fuck what they think about me. I could literally give a fuck less. I'm going to do the things I want to do. I'm going to help people as much as I can. And if people just look at the surface level of how I look, how I dress, the car I drive, whatever, that's on them. That's their loss. They'll never get to know me in my heart, and that's on them.
That's so interesting, because I couldn't resonate with that more. Being somebody who works a traditional finance job, right? Like, most people would look at me on social media and say, oh, this guy's an idiot. All he does is crush energy drinks, work out, and like, he thinks he's like, a CEO of an investment bank. And they would then say that like I have an unsophisticated job. But people who know me and talk business with me or understand what my job is, actually understand that like there's a level of sophistication and a lot of effort and pressure that has to go into what I do.
Yep.
So I resonate a lot with the fact that like if you look at somebody face value and you don't take with a grain of salt something on like your first image, like the first time you take a look at it, you'll never understand the full picture. You're missing, you only have one piece of the entire puzzle, 1,000-piece puzzle. And when I met you, I was like, okay, this guy's obviously doing great in business, probably a Ponzi scheme. I don't know if this is real. It's probably selling like whack ass products that like people just don't understand to people who barely have enough money and they're dying. They're pulling out of credit cards, the last cents they have. Then, you know, obviously I see your car and I'm like, okay, like this is a flex. This is a huge flex having this car. We sit down for an hour and a half at dinner and get to really hear you spit game. Right. And you actually give me a ton of advice, which is super valuable. And I appreciated it. I was really started to piece it together. The more I started to talk to you, really understand, like you've been in this game for a few years now. I mean, how old are you?
31.
Yeah, 31. And you've been doing this for what, 10 years?
I've been in this specific industry doing this specific type of sales and consulting for 6 years.
Yeah. And you know what you're doing. You're gaining clients from just general, like, getting connected to them, right? It's mostly referral business, right? Imagine people have a great experience with you,
Yep.
and then somebody refers a friend.
Yep.
Right? Kind of like I'm going to slide you an Ultra pouch right now so that you can get one of these so we can get locked in. Because Ultra has sponsored the podcast. So if you guys haven't tried an Ultra pouch, it is the #1 non-nicotine pouch on the market. And they've only been running for like 6 months now. 2025 they launched. Product is insane. So I'm going to throw one right now so we can lock in for the rest of the pod.
My first one, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
You got the wintergreen. You like it?
Yeah, so far so good.
Alpha GPC, L-theanine, ginseng root, and Infinity PX, which is like the downstream metabolite of caffeine. So that's where the energy comes in. But you said you have anxiety, right? You experience?
I've had anxiety, yes, in my life.
So I love L-theanine because it helps me to kind of stabilize. I have ADHD. I'm constantly moving and the markets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
L-theanine helps me to just chill out and focus. Right.
That's good.
So as we talk through your story, I want to understand like what you do for business. Like, what is your actual business?
Yeah. What's my actual job?
Yeah.
How do you actually produce income in the marketplace? Yeah, I mean, dude, entrepreneurship, like, I think you get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problems that you solve in the marketplace. And so sales is the highest paid skill set and profession on planet Earth. Like, the people who make the most money are the best at sales or have the biggest sales teams. I mean, look at Jonah's office we're sitting in, right? It's
insane office.
That's why Jonah does so well. His big sales team, and he knows the game of sales. And the problem with sales, though, is 99% of the world has no fucking clue what sales is and how it works. And then you have to think that sales is a very general word. That's like if someone says, I do real estate. You do Airbnb, you do fix and flip, you buy and hold. Like, what is real, commercial, residential? Like, what does that mean? Sales is very general. So then you have to look at a specific industry, and then you have to learn the specific type of sales for that specific type of industry, and you have to know how to navigate that. So I got really, really good. I would say the best in the world at sales for online coaching specifically. So a fitness coach, a health coach, a life coach, a marriage coach, a divorce coach, stocks, real estate, how to be a podcast host, like whatever you want to do, there is a coaching program for it that exists. And I am the best in the world at showing that business owner or that sales team how to sell that specific online coaching program. Could be $2,000, could be $10,000, could be $150,000. I don't really care. I have a sales process that I developed after taking 7,000 sales calls, like sitting in a chair like this for 7,000 hours, talking to 7,000 people that are rich, that are poor, that are tall, that are short, that are old, that are young, from all over the world. And I started to notice the patterns of human psychology of how Zoom sales work for coaching specifically, pieced together my own methodology, and then started running that and got really fucking good, like significantly better than everybody else that I was on the team with. And then I started getting paid to teach that methodology customized for the people that were paying me.
Got it. So you were working at an agency, I assume, when this all started?
I was working for a coaching company.
Okay.
And we were teaching YouTube ads to business owners. So it could be a restaurant, could be a real estate agent, could be another coaching company. And at the time in 2020, YouTube was ripping in terms of ads. Facebook was shutting down everybody's accounts. YouTube was the hot thing. And our CEO at the time was 24, but he had been on YouTube since he was like 12 or 13 years old, like building and monetizing channels. And he's like, love this guy, nerdy guy, just figured it out. And we scaled that company. The day I got hired there was June of 2020. We scaled that company to 1.7 million per month, from 300K to 1.7 million a month over 2.5 years. Run an Inc. 5000 2 years in a row, fastest growing privately owned companies in America in the top 100. And I took thousands of calls, closed millions of dollars in sales for that company.
Wow.
That was like my training ground.
Yeah.
So shout out to them because they were spending $300,000 a month on ads at the peak to book calls on my calendar for me to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was great.
So you exemplify a few things in explaining that story. A, you got really good at one thing. Right?
Yes.
You hyper-focus, locked in on one thing.
Yes.
And I'm a true believer that, you could be a jack of all trades and a master of none, and that could work. And honestly, I think I probably fall more into that category of being pretty good at majority of the things that I focus on, but it's usually like a handful. But that's because where I sit in the finance world, kind of have to know a lot about most things.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be able
well-rounded.
Yeah, and that's because you have to be able to cater in so many different situations. Now, if you become a master at one thing, you become such an indispensable value add to whatever business. So obviously you made yourself the Jenga piece that when you get pulled out, the game's over.
The game collapsed 3 times from the 3 companies that I got fired from all 3, actually. I didn't quit. I got fired from all 3 companies doing sales. And I'm not going to say I was the reason they collapsed, but a few months after I left each of those companies, like the downfall was there.
That's pretty wild because it's obviously proof that whatever you were doing was working. And if you weren't there working, it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Now, what made you decide to go out on your own, do your own thing? Because for the last few years, it's been you.
I got fired 3 times, dude. I was like, I'm fucking over this. Like, I'm tired of fucking people firing me. Yeah. So I was a 1099 independent contractor. So for 4 years, I did that. And then for the last 2 years, I've owned my own consulting company, closesales.com, the best fucking domain on planet Earth. $1,800 I bought that for. Wow.
High ROI on that buy.
100%. When it transferred to my GoDaddy account, it puts like a valuation on it and just said like 10K plus. So I was like, 5X my investment. Like if this doesn't work out, I can sell the domain and make some money back. So I got fired the 3rd time after building this company to $550,000 a month, and I was making about 30 to 40K. And I get it, right? Like I'm the highest paid employee in that company by far. I had built and trained the team. Like the team was ripping and dialed. Like, did I really need to be there to manage them every minute of every day? Like, not really. So she thought. And then the team got a little worse. I mean, they ended up building that company pretty big after I left, and then it kind of declined from there. But yeah, I mean, I got fired the 3rd time, and like, I was like, dude, like, I can't keep getting fired. I was building a house I couldn't afford. Okay. So I had put down $42,500 of like earnest money to build a house. And that's all I had to put up. But then I had to close on the house. It was $870,000. So if I couldn't get the loan and come up with the rest of the down payment and close on it with the credit and the cash, they would just keep my $42,000. So I'm working for this company. I'm building a house that I don't have the money for to close on. And I'm going through a divorce, and I'm 35 pounds overweight. And I kind of just looked in the mirror. I was in my mom's tiny little studio apartment in St. Pete Beach while the house was being built because I left my ex in Orlando. I was like, I'm out of here. And I was looking myself in the mirror. I was like, all of this shit is not where it needs to be. And the only thing I can do is blame myself and turn inward and work 10 times harder on myself than I've ever worked on myself before. So I started ripping 2-a-days at the gym. I started eating only healthy and clean stuff. I started building my company from just an idea in my head and a domain name that I bought for $1,800. Got fired from the consulting job and just like went all in on myself. Fitness, business, mindset, life, friendships. And it was the most enjoyable time of my entire life, when arguably it would be the hardest time of my entire life, but it was the most fun, dude. Like the power was in my hands. Like I was free from this relationship. I was free from this company. I was free to create anything I wanted with the new business. And just went hard in the paint, dude, like 16, 18-hour days between fitness and business, and just went crazy.
I love that.
Yeah.
First off, the thing you said is exactly what I focus on in terms of like what I built with Savage and Asu.
Yeah.
I put together a bunch of high performers who are more in the corporate structure. These are mainly guys who work at like big banks, trading firms, or starting their own hedge fund, those types of guys. And there are people who are aligned on, I lock in on my fitness. I want my business to grow. I want to be around good people. I want to look internally and build the most polished version of myself and figure out how to develop myself towards my uncapped potential, right? So it's like living a limitless lifestyle within whatever path that you've chosen, right? That's the carve your path mindset. It's figure it out, right? Regardless of what the obstacles are. And you obviously had your own obstacles, being, 35 pounds overweight, going through a divorce, struggling to put the money together to buy your house while also getting fired. And then you just had to put in the work.
I had no other choice. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, cause I come from a good family. Like I didn't like grow up super poor where like we were not able to like keep the lights on. So I'm very blessed in that regard, but I couldn't call my mom and dad and be like, hey guys, like I need an extra 150 grand to put down on this house. Do you got me? Like, there's no fucking way. Like, they'd be like, hey, no, you know what I mean? Like, figure it out. Like, you signed the contract on this house, figure it out. And I appreciate my parents for that, because they wouldn't come in and save me. And I don't want to be saved, because if you constantly keep getting saved, then you don't learn the lesson.
Yeah.
So I was like, no one is here to save me. Like, I was one of the first reels I posted, because I didn't use Instagram forever until I started my company. And one of the first reels I posted, like getting back on Instagram, was nobody and nothing is coming to save you. If you want it, you have to go put in the work and you have to go fucking get it.
Yeah.
I took that mindset on full force and just went in every aspect of my life and just ripped out all the shit that wasn't serving me, and then tripled down on the things that were.
We just said, rip out all the things that weren't serving you.
Could be people.
Yeah.
Could be vices. Could be a million different things. But you have to think, like, everyone thinks life is so long, so they'll do it tomorrow. But that wasn't my mentality, because after my girlfriend died.
Right.
And I felt like I burned up most of my 20s in a toxic relationship. I was like, I don't have time. So whatever the thing is that needs to get done, I need to do it right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
There's a sense of urgency that you develop when you realize that time is not indispensable and that it's only dependent upon you. And I think the cool part about that, you subtracted from your life, you trimmed the fat, you cut the fat to the fillet, and got you down to the only things you need to focus on, right? And that's all internal.
Yep.
And then you build the people around you as you start to become the version of yourself you're meant to be. Now, you've lived in Tampa your entire life, effectively, other than being in Orlando, right?
Yep.
But how did you build this like winner circle? Because everybody we've spent our time with since we've been here,
gangsters, right?
Gangsters, like, and you know, it's cool because I live in worlds of, you know, much more traditional wealth generation and people who, you know, either sold a business and that's how they, you know, developed their wealth, or their family sold a business 50 years ago and, you know, now they are continuing to build it through investments. But it seems like mainly everybody kind of just created their own wealth in this chapter, right? How did you find these people, all the guys that we've been hanging out with?
Yeah, step one is you have to become that person. So everybody's like, I want a better circle. I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. Would you hang out with you? And most of the time it's like, maybe not. Like, so I had to become the person by myself, independent of everybody else. And then when I became the person, I became magnetic to other people like me.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to find other young, hungry, ambitious entrepreneurs with a winner's mindset that takes responsibility for their actions. They don't complain. They don't bitch. It was so easy, right? So like, to share some of how it happened, like I became the person, and then randomly I get a text in a group chat one day with this guy, Dan, that I went to college with, hadn't talked to him in years. And he's like, hey, Austin, I want to introduce you to Antonio. You both live in Tampa. You're both killers. Like, that was the premise of the text.
Yeah.
No idea who this guy is, right? Antonio texts back immediately. He's like, oh, dude, do you like to golf? I'm like, I love golf. He's like, yeah, dude, let's go play around the golf. So him and I go out to meet at Hunter's Green Golf and Country Club, and we play around the golf. I don't know if you know who Myron Golden is, but we saw him like out there warming up. Got to say what's up to him, and then we played around the golf. We hit it off. A couple weeks later, he's like, hey, it's my business partner's birthday. I would love for you to come to our house party. We're just going to hang out and have some drinks, and like other cool people will be there. I was like, great. I show up. I know Antonio, and then he introduced me to his business partner, Landon. They both became very, very good friends of mine and fucking love those guys. And then there was just a group of successful entrepreneurs there, and I just got to meet each of them and then build different relationships with different ones. But I had to go pursue those people, right? Like, there's this guy, Craig, and he was going to this gym I wanted to go to. And so we became friends, and I was like, dude, I'd love to check out the gym with you. He's like, I'm going right now. I was like, great, I'll meet you there. I don't care where you're hitting. I'll hit it with you.
Yeah.
We did back. I hit back the day before. I was like, fuck it. I'll do it again. Like, I just, you know, so then, and I asked him when we finished up the workout, I was like, number one, enjoy working out with you. Number two, this gym is fucking sick. I'm getting a membership right now. I was like, would you be down to start going at like 7 a.m. with me? He's like, dude, 100%. So we started going at 7 a.m. for a week. And I was like, dude, would you be down to do like 6 a.m.? Because 7's kind of busy and it's cutting close to my meetings. He's like, dude, 100%. So for like 6 months straight, we're at the gym, 6 o'clock in the morning, every day together. And then he introduces me to Eric, and Eric introduces me to Leo. And like, you just start meeting all these people.
Yeah.
You know, Eric makes 6 figures a month with a marketing agency. Leo makes $3 million a month with his e-com business, right? So like, you just meet one after another, but you have to be the person. Because you can meet all the people in the world. That doesn't mean those people want to come back and spend time with you. Right. So it's like, I just very much lead from like, I want to give more than I take.
Yeah.
I don't go places and have interactions of like, what can I get from this?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I bought a $1,400 dinner for the 9 people that were there. I had the health issues. And, I went to the doctor that morning and did one of my 3 tests on my heart, and it came back clear. And I was just in a place of gratitude. I'm like, dude, I fucking love the people that are at this table. Like, I want to take care of them. And a couple of the guys were like, dude, I'll get you back. Like, just tell me, I'll send you a Venmo. And I'm like, dude, don't rob me of my joy. I don't want your money back. Like, this brings me genuine joy and happiness. It's not from a place of like, oh, let me show off to these guys. Like, dude, everyone at the dinner can afford to pay for everyone's dinner too. It's like, it's very much not like, oh, they'll owe me one now. It's very much like, I just want to give because it feels good for me.
Yeah.
It makes me feel fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. And how you take care of people or how you treat people is literally everything.
Yeah.
And you met...
Reputation, dude, you have one of them. And if you start being a dickhead and an asshole and taking more than you give, and like, people aren't going to want to hang out with though. And then that spreads very quickly. And then what do you have? Just yourself? Like, life is so much more fun with a group of incredible people to do life with, that you resonate with, that you don't have drama with, that you're not competing with, but you are pushing each other. Like, that's why you created your community. And it's funny, when I was in college, they're like, oh, you joined a fraternity, you're paying for your friends. That's pretty much what the coaching space is. You know what I mean? Like, we're all paying for our friends. Like, the people in your community are paying to have access not only to you, but to the other people in the community, because it forces them to be a better and higher version of themselves. Exactly. That's the best ROI you can do, is spending money to be in the rooms with the people that you admire and the people that will push you and the people that you can look up to.
Yeah. I always give people the advice of, if you like to work out, go to the most expensive gym you can realistically get to every day. And you spend as much time there as you possibly can. And if that is genuinely where you are happy, you will be the best version of yourself, and you will meet other people who are just as aligned. And that could apply to any other sport. It could be golf, it could be paddle, it could be tennis, whatever it is. You could be at a jazz club, and that's just your thing. You love being at jazz clubs. Go to the best jazz club in your city. Whatever you love to do, go do it at the best of your ability with the highest people who love that same thing, and you end up building friendships through it. You found yours through the gym. I'm an early morning gym guy. Like, since I started working in New York City finance, I've been going to the gym at like 5 a.m.
But you have to.
Yeah, because otherwise the day takes away. Yeah. And if you don't root yourself in that discipline, you lose everything.
Yep.
You lose everything. And obviously the people that you're hanging out with are high performers. These are people who hold you to a higher standard. How have you seen like your business grow, like since you started like entering these circles? Or you, like, what did you deduct from being in these rooms?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm sitting at dinner at Meat Market, with Leo, and I'm like, it was like the first of the month. I'm like, yo, what'd you make last month? And he's like, I don't know, like, wasn't that good of a month. I think it was like 2 something. And I'm like, yeah, he means 2 million.
Yep.
And it's funny because Leo, shout out to him, like fucking one of the most genuine dudes. If you look at his Instagram, you think he's just some piece of shit because he has his Lambo and his, his matching GLEs with his girl, and like, it's kind of some douchey concept, but when you actually consume it, you're like, dude, he like just wants other people to win.
Yeah.
And then when you actually hang out with him, like, he's always trying to pick up the tab for dinner. Like, I gave him some advice on his coaching business that he built on the side of the e-com thing. And we took his show up rate from like, it was like 10 or 15%. It was terrible. To like 90%, which will net him millions and millions of dollars. And it's just advice I gave to him over dinner. So now he like never wants me to pay for my own dinner. He's like, dude, I owe you. I'm like, you don't owe me anything. You're my friend. Like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
But for him to be like, yeah, 2 something, like 2 million something like that month, it's like, I'm not doing that. So it's like, great, I need to work harder. And then Leo's in a mastermind. He was there in Miami a couple months ago. And the guy, Jeremy, who runs the mastermind, was like, how did you get here? He's like, I took a jet, like a private jet. He's like, did it have its own like bedroom with a bed? He's like, no. He's like, you're fucking poor. You need to work harder. So he has his mentor telling him to work harder. And then he's the one inspiring me. So it's like, we're all helping each other level up and like pushing each other.
Yeah.
And it's very much a brotherhood that is pushing each other and not competing. Like, we're not like, how much did you make? Oh man, I'm jealous. Like, no one's jealous of each other.
Yeah.
Everyone is pushing each other to be the best physical fitness, the best financial fitness, the best emotional health, the best relationships. Like, it's just everyone is moving together. I say when the water rises, so do all the boats.
I was literally going to, bring that same concept up, is that you're just elevating with everybody around you. And I think being inspired by the people around you actually has a lot more to do with you than it does them, right? Because people look at Instagram and doom scroll and all of a sudden hate themselves because they're looking at everybody else living their life fully like uncapped, doing whatever they want, buying the cars they want, living the life that they want, being with the people they want. And then they look internally and they say, well, why can't you do that? Why can't you do that? And it takes a special version of yourself to show up to every single day, look at Instagram, and be inspired by what you consume. I think everything that you consume on your phone, I mean, I have my top 10 goals as my background on my phone. Like, every single day I'm looking at my top 10 goals for this year. And that's a reminder of who I need to be every time that I show up. Every time I wake up, that's who I got to be.
And then your subconscious will look for validation of other people that remind you that it's possible.
Right.
When I was brand new to sales and I had no experience in this industry specifically, I'm on the team. There's like 3 or 4 other guys on the team. And the first day of work, like we're going around, we're like, I'm getting to know everybody. And I'm like, dude, if these fucking guys can do it, I can do it. Like, are they smart? Definitely smarter than me in this niche, but like, they're not better than me. They've just been doing this specific thing for longer than me.
Right.
And if they can do it, I can do it. And that right there is the mindset that will change your life. When you start to look at the people who are doing the thing and realize that they're good humans, but they're nothing special. And if they can do it, you can do it. Then you start actually taking action that's aligned to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Where so many people have this victim mentality and they're like, oh, you got lucky. Oh, you have daddy's money, right? And people would say that on Instagram all the time when I bought my McLaren, like, oh, daddy's money, whatever. And I just laugh. And then my buddy sent me a license plate frame and it says daddy's money, but I am daddy. So I bought it and it's on my McLaren. It's hilarious because like, it's like, yes, daddy's money and I am daddy. Like I built this shit. I came from the fucking ashes and I grew this lifestyle that nobody can take away from me except myself. Like I can sabotage it and burn it all to the ground, but obviously I'm not going to do that. My mind is too fortified.
Yeah. All right. I want to ask you about the cars.
Yeah.
What cars have you had? What's the coolest car? Like run me through like the car collection over the last like 5 years.
So dude, I'm actually not a big car guy. Like I don't know about like supercharge this and exhaust that and a downpipe. Like I'm not a big like car nut. My very first car was a 1999 BMW 323i that my brother passed down to me. So I got it like for free. He had like put exhaust and upgraded it and then gave it to me. And he got a new car. Then from that, I got a 2-door red Hyundai Genesis Coupe, little stick shift 2.0 turbo.
Yeah.
We used to call it 2 slow because it was like it's a tiny little turbo, but it was fun. It was great. And then when I took over my dad's landscape company, I was showing up to like homeowners' houses in this little candy apple red sports car. I'm like very much not looking the part. So I traded that in and I got a 2012 Ford Raptor that I still have. And I got that in 2017. So it's 5 years old. I still have that truck right now and it has 250,000 miles on it. I fucking love that truck. It's badass. And then I think it was like a year and a half ago is when I got the McLaren. And that was on a big 3-piece canvas in my office for 4 years before I bought it. So I was looking at it on the wall for 4 years, the color, the make, the model, like everything is, I was like, that is the exact car I want. Yeah. The doors go up, the top goes down. Google says that McLarens aren't reliable. I don't give a fuck. I want that car. It's cool. I like it. And I don't care what anybody else has to say. Like, and when I bought it, people in the car community are like, oh, GT3 RS is better. Then I'm like, that's cool. I don't like that car. I want my car.
Right.
And I bought it for me, not to impress other people. I didn't give a shit. And then just like 3 weeks ago, I think maybe a month ago, I got a brand new 2025 Ford Raptor that had like 100 miles on it, brand new, lifted, leveled, 37-inch rims and tires, Whipple supercharger, custom front bumper, custom back bumper, lighting package, exhaust, like the whole thing is just murdered out. But if I didn't buy it like that, like I wouldn't have done all that to it. And I was like, I need a tax write-off, and my 250,000 mile Raptor is reliable, but I don't know how reliable for how long. And my accountant's like, dude, we need to spend some money. Like you owe 300 grand in taxes. And I was like, okay. So I went down, I bought that in cash. That was 140 grand. I bought it about a month ago.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I have the 2 Raptors and then I have the McLaren. The McLaren's not getting driven that much anymore. I mean, you saw my Raptor when I pulled up the new one. It's fucking disgusting. It's
awesome.
I love that truck.
Yeah. That's a really cool. I mean, I love like Ford trucks in general are dope, but the Raptor is just so sexy. And I was driving the same Jeep Wrangler for 9 years. Yep. And I had 147,000 miles on it and was really trying to get it to 200,000. Like my dad drives the same Mercedes since 2003. Like he's milked that car. He's about
shout out to Mercedes for last.
Yeah, seriously. Well, he has the old G-Wagon, like the original.
Okay, yeah.
And like this is before G-Wagon was a flex. Or a tax write-off. And, you know, I've always loved watching him like drive that car as long as possible and like, you know, really nurse it to it. Like it's at 350,000 miles right now.
Wow.
I was trying to do the same thing with my Jeep and then a Penske truck hit me in a parking lot. So it wasn't a big collision, but it totaled my, 2013 Jeep.
She was fragile, dude.
It was, yeah. Serena was fragile. She was on her last leg, so we didn't know. It was sudden death. And, I ended up using the insurance money and went and put a little bit of money into an X6. Nice. And that was a dream car of mine. Like, I don't need crazy cars. I'm also not like the biggest car snob.
I have nothing else on the list.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, like, what's next? I'm like, dude, genuinely, like, I have the truck, I have the McLaren, like I have my 2 houses, one is an Airbnb, one I live in, like I have my jet ski, I have my golf cart, like I have everything I need. Like there's like 2026 is very much the year of just stacking and putting money away, of just saving and investing, because I have no other big purchases to spend. And I think something that benefits me greatly is I don't give a fuck about the opinions of other people. So I'm not chasing things to impress people. And there's so many young kids. Like if I could have a message to the young generation that's making money, 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, 100 grand a month, like they're so caught up, most of them, in the world of social media, that they just want to keep buying more stuff to just keep flexing on their followers. And number one, it doesn't bring them happiness. And then number two, they run out of fucking money. And if the business doesn't keep sustaining where it's at today and you don't have money to keep up with the lifestyle, the worst thing about being broke is being rich previously. So if you had it and then you lost it, you got to taste that freedom and that lifestyle, and now it's all gone. Me, like one of my core values is safety and security. That's why I have a fence around my house. That's why I have cameras everywhere. Like I'm very much safety and security. That's why I very much stack cash away, because God knows what could happen. Like when I have heart problems and a health scare, it's like, can I keep working? Like, I don't know. But if I can't keep working, I have years worth of living expenses put away in the bank where I can survive. So it fills the need of like safety and security of having that cash. And I'm not willing to throw away that safety and security to go flex another supercar. Could I go buy another supercar tomorrow? Yeah, I could buy 3, but like, why? Who am I doing that for? I can only fucking drive one at once. Like I have one watch. And I just bought it last year, and I didn't even have a watch before that. Like I bought one Breitling that I liked. Again, people are like, why'd you get a Breitling? Rolex is nicer. I'm like, dude, I bought what I wanted to buy. I don't give a fuck what the watch people say. Like, dude, this is a unisex watch. It's not even a men's watch. They're like, this is unisex. I'm like, I like it. I'm going to fucking buy it. 22 grand. I'll take it. Like, I don't care. I didn't go do the research. Like, is this a cool watch or not? It was cool to me. And if you do things for yourself and not in the pursuit of impressing others, you'll always be more fulfilled. You'll always be happier, and you'll always go to bed and then wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror, like, I love the person I see in the fucking mirror. Because I'm doing it for me, not for everybody else.
You have such a good sense of self, and you just had a health scare.
I did,
What caused the health scare, you think, and what made you like take action on that?
So I think to my uneducated health brains, like if I had to guess, like I went really hard in 2025. Like I would say average 4 to 5 hours of sleep every night. When I drink, I was drinking a lot, staying up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't do any drugs, but I was doing, nicotine and caffeine are both technically drugs. So those were my drugs of choice. I was doing 2 cans of nicotine a day, 2 to 3 White Monsters a day, going to the gym, lifting heavy, pushing my body on 4 to 5 hours of sleep with no fruit, no vegetables, no peptides, no supplements, like no blood work, like nothing. Just very much building my business and having fun and living my life. And I think that I just pushed it way too hard to where my nervous system was overloaded. I was sitting on a meeting a couple months ago, just 8:30 in the morning, had nicotine in, had a Monster already half drank. And it felt like somebody took a rubber band and just like snapped it into my chest, just like a really bad like heart palpitation. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Then that obviously triggers anxiety, and you're like, oh my God, like, am I dying? Like, what just happened? Week after that, I was sitting down on a meeting, almost passed out, sitting down. Like I went to go grab my water and just like got dizzy and like almost passed out, which has never happened before. And then a week after that, I started getting the palpitations again. And I was like, okay, like I had my assistant come over, had like cases and cases and cases of White Monster, threw them all away. And then actually he took them and he sold them on Facebook Marketplace to someone for like $50, and then came back with $50 the next week. He's like, I got you some money. And then I had probably 30 cans of nicotine, and then he opened them all up and we dumped them in the trash. And I was like, I need to like really invest into my health. I went and got blood work done. I did an EKG. And then just this past, it was on Friday, I did a echocardiogram, which is like an ultrasound of your heart. The lady said it all looked good. And then I go in on Thursday to do a coronary CT scan, which is like in the tube. They do of like all your organs, and then I'll wear a monitor for a week just to like confirm. I think I'm okay. I think I just overloaded my nervous system. So now I'm getting 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep every night. Like you could cut out the energy drinks. Like, dude, I didn't do nicotine or caffeine for like 2 months straight. Like no coffee, nothing, just cold turkey to.
Wow.
And I still am not drinking energy drinks, and I'm doing nicotine like very rarely. Very, very rarely am I doing nicotine.
Wow. I think sometimes people have to redline a little bit to
get redlined hard.
You have to press your boundaries so hard sometimes to learn where balance really is appropriate and necessary. And I think it takes a certain level of pressure to perform. and you put pressure on yourself. And I'm the same way. 2025 was very much like my finding my balance, and then losing it. And then I regained it right here at the tail end of 2025.
Good.
And now 2026 is a lot about pressure, and it's a lot about performance, but it is about making sure that my health is paramount.
You got to sustain, bro.
Right.
It's like, and I use this example all the time. It's like, you get on an airplane every time you travel, except lately I've been flying private, and that's been very nice.
Yeah.
You're like, why do you like making money? I'm like, so I get to fly private and not go through fucking TSA.
Yeah.
But when you get on a commercial airplane, like they're like, when your oxygen mask drops down, put yours on first because you can't help those around you if you're dead.
Right.
And it's the same thing with your health. Like if you're not investing in your health, and I very much did not invest in health in 2025. Like I was going to the gym, I looked good, but my internal health was a disaster. What do you have?
Yeah.
Like you like, and I forget the exact quote, but it's like, a rich man wants everything, but like a man with no health wants one thing.
Right.
Right. So you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, you'll give up all the money to have your health. So I'm doing, the supplements now, and like the sleep has been really, really good, cutting out the caffeine to almost zero. Maybe I'll do 1 cup of coffee a day. And dude, I feel great. Like I have just level, great energy all throughout the day now, instead of these peaks and crashes, and then just supplement it with another energy drink. So I'm very much like leveled, a little bit more calm, more stoic, I would say, but like I feel fucking amazing. And I'd say my heart is not all the way back and recovered. I think these last 2 tests coming up on Thursday will be helpful, just to like clear everything. And then I can very much just like invest into my nervous system and my health. But yeah, it feels good to like take it seriously, because dude, I'm 31. Like I'm young, but at the same time, I'm not 18 anymore, where I could get blacked out at 18 and then you get an hour of sleep and then go rip a chest day the next morning, and feel great. Like I can't do that anymore.
So I got, what I would say a ton of attention on social media for ripping energy drinks, running to my office in the city, and being.
I found you originally.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking nuts. I love this guy. He's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. And like, I loved that chapter of my life. Like being like the nuts finance guy who's ripping energy drink and listening to EDM music and, running around with my sunglasses on the back of my head. I love that phase, right? And it's still like certainly a version of me. But in 2024, I started working with Elite Living, which is like my medical clinic, like the telehealth medicine company I work with. I started working with a doctor and getting prescribed peptides and running my lab work like religiously, where I wasn't good about that. And my blood pressure got out of whack in 2024. Like I had like a 156 over 104. It was bad. It was mainly because I was over intaking food. I was having way too much sodium. I was drinking way too many energy drinks, and I was not sleeping. And we were
the no sleep is the war.
Right.
You have no time to recover.
None. And I battle that now a lot because of how busy I am. But over the last couple months, I've really gotten back to at least 7 hours and doing a better job of scheduling my time. And it's hard because I'm managing a lot, like working my normal job and then being able to do all the things outside. Also, the networking piece of it is a huge part. So I'm constantly dividing my time. But if I don't sleep, like I'm trash. I'm not going to be effective. And I think doing the lab work and having like a doctor to actually look over and monitor everything that you do, it's like the smartest thing you need to do.
And it doesn't cost a lot of money.
No.
At all.
It costs a lot more to try and figure it out on the back end, where you didn't have somebody to actually help you improve over time.
The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to reverse.
Right. And, the nicotine thing I resonate with. I had to make a real stance because in 2023, when I started bodybuilding, I did my first show. I was definitely addicted to nicotine bad. Like I was ripping a vape, and I told myself, hey, we're going to go to this wedding in Charleston, South Carolina. You are not bringing that with you. And so I got a haircut. I was flying out the next morning. I went to the Hudson River and I threw the vape in the water.
Never again? Did it?
No.
Good for dude. I've never hit a vape once.
Really?
Never even hit one single time.
It is the stupidest thing you could put in your mouth.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that I'm such a health nerd. Like I love biohacking and talking about peptides and all the things that I like to trial. But I was taking in carcinogens every single day, sometimes waking up in the middle of the night to, take a hit on the way to the bathroom. It's the stupidest thing. And if you really do like nicotine and know that there's like a focus complex to it, they have pouches. But most people just get addicted to those pouches. And that's why I started using the ultra pouches, because they gave me an opportunity to like have that oral fixation without having the nicotine. And if you stack nicotine and caffeine long enough, you saw what happened. The same thing was happening to me.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I was doing like hard dip though.
Yeah.
Like I started in college, like I got introduced to tobacco, and I was doing Copenhagen wintergreen long cut.
And that's legit.
Yeah. It was like dirt, And it's like, dude, I remember like my gums were receding on this tooth, and I was like, okay, like whatever, like when I quit doing tobacco, like it'll grow back. Didn't realize your gums don't grow back and reproduce. You have to get a gum graft. So like on this tooth here, like I have no gums on this tooth. Like you can see the root of this fucking tooth.
Wow.
And I was going to get a gum graft, but then I got Invisalign. Like, hey, let's do the Invisalign first and you can do that later. And I just haven't done it yet. But I was playing video games every night when I was building the landscape company. I was in a relationship that I didn't really want to spend time with her and I needed like an outlet. So I was just playing video games, like playing Fortnite, just spitting mountains of fucking tobacco. So then I switched to the nicotine pouches thinking it was healthier, but it's not healthy if you're not doing it in moderation. When you're ripping 2.5, 3 cans a day.
Yeah.
I did. My assistant would literally go, there's one store that sold the ones that I liked because it wasn't Zyn, it was a different brand. And there was only one store in Tampa that sold them. And he would show up every other week, like $300 worth of cans. And then I still have them all. They're all empty now. And I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cans like in a drawer. And I still have all of the white monsters. I have hundreds of empty white monsters in my shed out back. And it's literally 5 trash bags full of white monsters. I'll probably make a video of just like the mountain of shit that I took into my body personally last year. And then it destroyed my health. And so it feels good though to be on the other side. And like, dude, it wasn't that hard to quit. It was 3 shitty days. I supplemented it with food. I was like, fuck it. Food will be my vice. I'm just going to eat whatever I want because like it's just, no nicotine, no caffeine. I need something.
Yeah.
But dude, it was like 3 bad days. People tell me all the time, like, oh, I'm trying to wean off. And I'm like, look, Tony Robbins says it best. Change happens in an instant, the instant you decide to change. And if you say, I'm going to wean off, you're very much not making the hard red line decision of I'm fucking done. And you're always going to go back.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision. You have to flip the switch. Like I'm fucking done and I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Like, so I did that with the nicotine and the energy drinks. I was like, I'm fucking done. Like these palpitations feel like shit. I'm freaking out. I don't like this. I can't perform at all anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
And just cold turkeyed it, had my assistant come over and just wipe the house and dumped it all out. And I was like, I'm over this shit.
All right. So you have deliberate action, which is the only way to be successful, is leading with deliberate action. And you have all of these cues that you keep alluding to, right? Like you keep the cans, you kept the watch, you're literally cueing yourself almost every single day on how you want to act and who you want to be. What are like give us some free sauce. What is the way that you cue yourself to perform? Like what's driving you to be such a high performer when you like most people would argue you already made it. You probably already made enough money to be done. You don't need to. So like what's continuing to push you and how do you cue yourself to perform every day?
I could be done for a couple of years. I couldn't be done forever, not even close. I need way more to be done, but I could take some time off and like live a very good life and,
right.
For a while. But dude, it's just become ingrained into who the fuck I am. Like I just am this person. I'm not like, oh, I want to try and be a high performer. I want to try. It's like, I'm past the point of trying.
Yeah.
Like this is just who I am. So like when I look at my calendar tomorrow, I have a meeting at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then as soon as I get off my meeting from 6 to 7, shower, jump in my car, go pick up a client of mine who's in town visiting from St. Pete, and then we will go to dinner. I've never met her in person before. She's a client. We'll do dinner in St. Pete, probably finish that up around 9, get home around 10, and that will be a full day. It'll very much just be a straight 12, 13, 14-hour day. And then, so I'm like, all right, when do I go to the gym? It's got to be in the morning. So tomorrow I'll get up at 6. I will probably finish up and get in bed at like 11 and be going nonstop from 6 to 11.
Right.
That feels good for me. Like I don't look at that day and I'm like, oh fuck, like look at all these meetings. I'm like, thank God for these meetings. Cause there was a time when I was building my company in the beginning where I would have killed to have these meetings. And I was talking to my buddy Adam, because gratitude is what I do better than most. And I think I've learned and programmed myself to be so grateful. Like when we walk into Jonah's office here, I'm not like, oh dude, sick office. I'm like, I'm so grateful that I have a friend that I introduced you to literally 2 nights ago that is willing to give us his massive office with him not even here. Like you just, here's the code, here's how to get in. Like I don't look at that, I'm like, oh fuck yeah. It's like, dude, I'm so grateful to have somebody in my life that'd be willing to do that for us on a Sunday night, like FaceTiming us, like hanging out with his girl, like taking time to get us in here. But that's just how I program my brain.
Yeah.
And to give an example of that, like my buddy Adam called me a couple months ago and I call him the smartest friend I know. I introduced you to Adam at the party and he was just stressed about his company. And he's like, dude, things aren't moving the way I want them to. And like, he has so much going for him. And I just let him go about, how things aren't moving. And I said, hey, can you do me a favor? He said, yeah. I said, go out into your garage, get in your red Ferrari 488 and cry me a fucking river. And I said, at the end of the day, if you're feeling like this, it's because you're not grateful enough. You have a beautiful wife. You have a kid and another one on the way. You have a badass German Shepherd. You have a house on the water with a boat in the backyard. You have your red Ferrari. I was like, dude, you're the fucking man. You're the highest paid sales rep ever, #1 in the company at Salesforce nationwide. And then you said, fuck this job, and went out, had the balls to start your own tech consulting company. You're the man. And he's like, fuck, you're right. Gratitude kills burnout. Gratitude kills doubt, fear, anxiety. Gratitude is the antithesis to everything negative. It kills everything negative. So if you can program yourself and wire yourself for gratitude, really fucking hard to have a bad day. Like if I left here and totaled my brand new truck, I'm like, dude, I fucking love that truck. I'm gonna go buy another one just like it. And I'm so fucking grateful that I could even afford that truck, and then I can afford to buy another one. Like I will always find the good in everything. Like we were golfing today. Justin's like, hey, I got to leave. Like we can only play 9 holes. And he told us that at the 9th hole. And I was like, fuck, like I wanted to play 18 holes. Like weather's beautiful. I want to hang out with you guys. Okay. Instead of being upset about that, I'm like, I'm grateful that I now get to leave earlier. So I have time to rest and relax before we do this podcast. And I have some time to get some work done and make sure the house is clean and prepped up for the next week. Like, so I just find the good in leaving 2 hours early.
Yeah.
You just got to program and wire your brain for gratitude. And nowadays, so many people are wired to find the bad in everything, to complain about things, to bitch, to get, oh, well, he's only successful because of this, that, and the other. Like people are always finding reasons to be upset and to be miserable. And then they wonder why they're fucking stressed, depressed, overweight, and fucking poor.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
It's easy to tell when somebody is living with gratitude and when somebody's living with constant stress and not appreciating any of the things they have. You time block, you're grateful you have the meetings, the opportunities. Most people get stressed when they have a loaded calendar and they get overwhelmed. How do you fight like anxiety and feeling like you have too much on your plate?
Gratitude.
Yeah.
I'd rather have too much than not enough. I remember I called a friend one time and I said, dude, I'm just overwhelmed. Like I have all this stuff and da-da-da. And I was talking about my workload. And he goes, brother, when the goal is to eat, you don't complain about having too much food.
Yes.
And I'm like, the goal is very much to fucking eat.
Yeah.
Like, why am I complaining? Like, look at all this food. Look at all this opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, do days get long sometimes? Yeah. Do meetings get tiring sometimes? Yeah. But I tell it to my clients all the time. Like, I'm just fucking grateful that you guys invested your money to sit here for me. And it's not fair for you if I don't show up as the highest version of myself, regardless of my personal life, regardless of what I did this last weekend, regardless of what's happening in other areas of the business. You guys paid to have the highest version of me. So that's what I will fucking deliver. And I will do that all day long. And then I will rest and relax and recharge the batteries later because you guys deserve it because you paid for me to be my best.
Yeah. I knew I liked you. And now after having this conversation, I know how like well aligned we are because I literally said, you can't be mad if your plate is full if you came to eat.
Yeah.
And I think that is the truth. And most people who don't have the opportunities to, be able to eat and do the things that they want to do, have to start to do exactly what you did. And that's become the version of yourself that you would want to hang out with and start to align yourself with mentors and people that you want to become, embody their habits, their skills, the traits, the way they treat people. Do you have mentors that like you think back to, like, that's the guy who got me here, or that's the guy who unlocked it?
I would say back with like the network marketing days, that was where I was experiencing young wealth for the first time. They weren't 80 years old driving like a baby blue Bentley. You know what I mean? Like they were very much 26 years old, making $100,000 a month. And I was like, dude, if these guys can fucking do it, I can do it. And I just saw the level of urgency and intention that they had every single day, the way that they ran their meetings, the way that they spoke on stages, the way that they traveled around the country and just did the work. And I was like, that's inspiring to me because these are young guys actually making it. They didn't inherit it. They didn't come from money. They very much just went out and created it. I was like, if they can fucking create it, they're not smarter than me, better looking than me, funnier than me. Like they're just a normal guy who's doing the work. Right. And I think the way that I view the world, there's no one above or below somebody else. Yeah. We're all human beings. We're God's highest form of creation. I think that we're all on the same continuum. There's very much people ahead of other people, but they're not above. They're not better. They've just been in the game doing the shit for longer, meaning they've been punched in the face more and made the decision to get up and keep moving forward every single day, regardless of how tough times got. And that is why they are further ahead. They're not better. They've just been doing the thing longer and they've been punched in the face a hell of a lot more than you. Yeah. You got to catch up. You got to get told no. You got to crash and burn. You got to look stupid. You got to start that YouTube channel that everybody makes fun of. Like you got to just do the work and do the thing consistently long enough and you cannot fail. And eventually you will get the result.
The social media thing. So many people will take jabs at people who post on social media. It's corny, it's cringy. You were throwing singles off of the top of a balcony at the party we were at the other night, which, by the way, is the craziest party. A tea party in Tampa with a tiger, with a bunch of guys who run a tea clinic.
Yeah. With a bunch of supercars and good high net worth people that are like genuine and awesome. Like,
yeah. Like from the outside looking in, you look at it and say, that is the douchiest party you could have ever put together. Standing inside of that party, you're so enriched by the people you're around because everybody there is such a genuine, authentic version of themselves. Now, every party with 400 people, there's going to be a couple bad eggs, but that party was loaded with all of your friends, right? So you sit around this, this party and you decide you're going to throw dollars off a balcony and you're going to make a video about it. When you post on social media, you're obviously trying to like elicit a reaction, right? And you're trying to develop a storyline and get people to notice you, and that obviously serves your business. How do you think about social media in terms of like the way that you market yourself? Because it's obviously a very different version of who you are.
Yeah, I think that I run social media the same way that I bought my car.
Yeah.
I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I say it all the time. Like, you don't have a spending problem. You have a making problem. Like that, and that's a belief that I have. It's like, bro, like,
that's my favorite.
Fucking work harder. Like, do more. Get more creative. Have a better network. Like, figure out how to create more, and then all of a sudden your spending problem goes away.
Yeah.
And so one of the girls like, oh, I'm going to take a video of you throwing the money. I was like, all right, great. I don't give a shit. And I'm throwing the money around. And she sends me the video, and I was like, what do I want to caption this? Like, I want to post this. It's funny. Like, it's pretty douchey, but like, this is funny. And that's what I said. I said, you don't have a spending problem. You have a making problem. Budgets are for Dave Ramsey and poor people. Now, does that come off pretty strong? Like, yeah, but at the same time, you will either be inspired by that, but like, you know what? I want to make enough money where I can just throw $400 off a fucking balcony in ones on a Friday night just because.
Yep.
Or you'll look at that and be like, oh, what a fucking asshole. What if this, that, da, da, da. There's starving kids in Africa. You should donate the money. Like, people will take whatever they want from that.
Yeah.
But I realized a long time ago, my dad taught me that I can't control people's opinions of me. He goes, if you like this sports team, there's 36 other sports teams that fucking hate you. If you're a Republican, Democrats hate you. If you're a Democrat, Republicans hate you, right? It's like, very much you cannot win. So you might as well just do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not stepping on heads and toes to get to where you want to go. But you got to live your authentic life. And if like you believe that budgets are for Dave Ramsey and poor people, like post it if you want to. If not, like that's cool too. Like I don't think about social media that much. I post probably 95% sales content. And like, here's how to handle objections, and here's me speaking on stage, and here's my story, and like very much sales related stuff.
Yeah.
And then occasionally I'll throw in, me throwing money off a balcony, being a little ignorant. But yeah,
it's like jab, jab, hook is the content strategy.
Yeah.
And I think your content's great. Obviously, like I looked at your content and I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about, but he's also fun. And he's not afraid to be himself.
I'm not a robot, dude. I'm not a sales robot. Right? Like, I'm not a polished professional. I'm a 31-year-old single idiot that's just very much living my life and helping as many people along the way as I can. And if you resonate, great. And if not, that's cool too. Hate on it and boost the algorithm and enjoy the show.
Yeah, it's awesome. Dude, this is a sick conversation. I appreciate you joining me and sitting down and telling me the story.
Bro, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, brother. You're part of the winner circle with me. I'm very glad that I got to spend the time with you and join yours. Where can people find you?
Instagram's the best. It's just at the Austin Medlin, TheAustin Medlin. And then that's like, short form content. And then I have my YouTube channel linked there as well for like longer form stuff. Like this whole podcast we'll put on there, and like me speaking on stages and me running actual sales calls and breaking down call reviews and stuff like that. So if like you're an online coach and a business owner looking to scale, YouTube crushes, dude, because I post hours upon hours upon hours of content there for totally free. Half the time it gets like 200 to 400 views, and I don't care because the 200 to 400 people that watch are like, dude, this is exactly what I needed. I just doubled my close rate off this one video. Thank you. And then Instagram is just more of some short form stuff.
Awesome, man. Keep being yourself and serving the people. So you're doing great.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna start booking my next flight to come back down here for dinner.
Let's get it.
Cool, bro. Awesome.